Hi guys, Lewis here, and this is going to be a quick overview of ConvertKit. ConvertKit is an email marketing tool specifically designed for bloggers. Now it's still quite new in the grand scheme of things, but it has gained a lot of traction recently, and I'd like to quickly cover what this tool has to offer. Now, starting with the system or the segmentation system that this uses, it's actually a very subscriber-centric tool, so it's not list-based. And that means subscribers are only counted once, regardless of how many automations or how many tags that are applied to them. And that's the thing, you segment based on tags, and I think this is a great system. It works really well, especially in comparison to some other email marketing tools that are really stuck in the list-based era. I think using this tool is very easy to apply behavioral-based tags. So for example, if I go into broadcasts, bear with me a second, I have a broadcast set up here. I'm going to click into that. And one of the things you can do is add a tag when a subscriber clicks on a link in one of your emails. So it's really easy to do that. I've got one set up here. So if I edit this link, you'll see that I get a checkbox option to tag subscriber who clicks this link, and then I can enter in a tag that I'd like to apply. So I really like how that works, and basically it allows your subscribers to self-segment, which is obviously a great thing to practice. Now, the tagging system does have some limitations. For example, there is no site tracking, which is not ideal if you're looking for slightly more advanced interest-based tagging. But overall, I think it does a good job considering how easy it is to use. But like I said, it's not perfect. It does have its limitations. So moving on to automations, I'm going to click into that now. ConvertKit actually praises itself on the simplicity and power of its automation features. And I do love the way that you build automation rules through this trigger and actions interface. So I'll just show you here. You select your trigger from this list, and then you select an action on the other side. So they definitely deliver on that promise of keeping things simple. In terms of power though, I would say not so much. One of the key things missing here is a visual workflow, which will allow you to split your automations based on different action taken or different events. Now, at the moment, it's very linear. If I go back here, you can see that these are my rules at the moment, and they're just in a list. There's also the issue of organization. As you create more and more rules, this area just gets really clogged up, and there's no way to group or categorize these. So I can see it being a bit of a nightmare to manage as you start to scale this up. Now, I do know that this is currently being reworked, and from what I've seen, it does look very, very promising. For now though, it does a good job with automation, but it definitely less so if you're looking to set up slightly more intelligent automation rules. Let's talk about A/B testing. Now, if I go back into broadcast, the thing with A/B testing in ConvertKit is that you're very limited there. Really, you can only test different subject lines. So again, if I open up this new broadcast, click next. These are just some segmentation options. You'll see the A/B button here, and if I click that, it will allow me to enter another email subject line. Now, this only works with broadcast emails, so it doesn't work with automation sequences. So apart from broadcast, your hands are pretty much tied. So really, it's quite straightforward. If you're looking to test the crap out of your campaigns, ConvertKit unfortunately isn't the tool for you. Okay, let's move on to form building. So if you click the Forms tab here, ConvertKit does allow you to build different types of forms. So that's going to be inline, modal, or slide-in, and that's really handy because all three of these have their uses. Where things really fall down for me is the design of these forms. So you've got the functionality, but apart from being able to change the colors of the form, you have very little control over the look and feel. One of the things that I noticed about the form builder is that even though you don't get many customization options, you can put your own CSS in there. So if you know CSS, there's a section for custom CSS, and I have to admit, I find this odd considering the target market There shouldn't really be such a strong reliance on CSS because I don't think many bloggers really dive into that stuff. So really, if you're looking to make any significant changes, ConvertKit really isn't the best solution when it comes to building forms. But of course, if you're using a page builder like Lead Pages or Thrive Content Builder, then this won't be relevant to you anyway. So it's just something to keep in mind if you rely on your email marketing service to build these kind of capture forms and even landing pages, because the same limitations apply there. All right, let's move on to email templates. New broadcast. Next. And what you will notice here is the email template dropdown. And to be honest, this was a bit of a head scratcher for me. As you can see, you get 5 different email templates, which from my testing made very little difference on the front end. We're talking very minor style changes there. And not only that, but you can't even edit the design yourself. You're pretty much stuck with these basic templates, and overall I was very disappointed with what ConvertKit offered me here, and really there's not much else to say about it. Moving on to integration, I've got another tab open here, so let's pull this up. Like I said, this is a relatively new company, so as expected this list of integrations isn't very long, but they do integrate with the most popular services, so it's kind of like the 80-20 of integrations for most people, even though it's not as extensive as something like MailChimp. ConvertKit will most likely have you covered, and it's worth mentioning that it does integrate with Zapier as well, or Zapier, however you say it. But unless you're using some really obscure third-party apps and services in your business, you should be fine in any case. But it's definitely worth checking out this list of integrations before taking the plunge with ConvertKit. Okay, reporting. I'm going to hop back over to ConvertKit, and I'm going to go to my dashboard. Obviously, there's not going to be much going on here because this is a review account. But from what I've seen of this so far, it's really nicely laid out. You can see everything at a glance, and you can imagine this is all filled up by the day as you use this, and you can hover over these to get some more statistics. And you can also filter this down as well, so you can drop this and you can check by month, all time, the last 30 days. And if you scroll down, you also get some statistics on your individual forms. But really, that is all you get with ConvertKit, aside from some very basic sequence reporting, which you'll see inside the sequence manager. But overall, these are definitely what I would call surface level stats, which is not ideal for someone who really likes to dig into the numbers. That said, I think this is plenty for the average user, the average blogger, which, to be fair, is the audience that they're trying to serve here. Okay, in terms of support, let's open up this tab here. I was actually really impressed with this. First of all, they sent me a personalized welcome video when I signed up for ConvertKit, just to let me know that there's real people behind this product and that they care about the experience that I have with it, which is obviously a great thing. You know, they used my name. It was clearly recorded specifically for me, and it was just a really nice touch that I haven't had with any other product before. I tested email responsiveness, and they claim an average response rate of 1 hour and 15 minutes, something around there. They actually took about 5 hours to get back to me, but still, let's be honest, that's really, really good. They also have a live chat as well as an active Slack community. So overall, you've got various support channels. They have a concierge service as well if you have a larger list. But, you know, very responsive, and really, on the whole, not a bad word to say about it. Let's move on to the final point here, which is pricing. And ConvertKit starts at $29, so that's between 0 and 1,000 subscribers, you have to pay $29 a month. So it's not the cheapest, and that trend does continue as your subscriber list grows, ending up at almost twice the cost as something like ActiveCampaign when you get to list sizes of around 50K plus. That said, it's not the most expensive option, and overall I'd put it in the mid to high range in comparison, which personally I think is slightly overpriced for what you get here. But of course, that depends on what you're really looking for. So that's my overview of ConvertKit, and I dive a lot more into this stuff in my written review, which I highly recommend you check out. I hope this video was helpful, and I will see you in the next one.